Larger litters, faster maturation. It was like they'd been waiting their whole evolutionary history for this moment. Ixthrix's mandibles twitched. Your colony had birth control measures, surely. We did. Do you know how hard it is to catch a cat that doesn't want to be caught? Now multiply that by several dozen, all of them living their best lives in an endless buffet of naive prey. The colony's official stance was still monitoring the situation, though I suspect that had more to do with Dr. Chen being on the Environmental Impact Committee. She'd started a cat appreciation society that had half the colony cooing over every new litter. The holoscreen shifted to show a colony-wide memo dated 6 months after landing. I highlighted the relevant section. While the decline in native fauna populations is concerning, the cats are providing excellent pest control services. That was around the time we noticed the second-order effects. The hoppers had been keeping certain aggressive plants in check. With the hoppers gone, the vegetation started changing. Remember those catnip-like plants I mentioned? Turns out they were being kept rare by hopper grazing, without the hoppers. I let the sentence hang, enjoying the ripple of unease through the chamber. The first feral cat colony was spotted 8 months in, 15 kilometers from the settlement. We thought the purple grass would slow them down. Instead, they used it as cover. Perfect height for an ambush predator. By then, the Cat Appreciation Society had officially registered 43 cats within the settlement. Unofficially, we had no idea. Some had started bringing their kills to humans as gifts, traditional cat behavior. The pile outside the colony administrator's quarters was particularly impressive. And by impressive, I mean horrifying. Here's where I should mention our colony's chief xenobiologist, Dr. Marcus Wong. I displayed a photo of a harried-looking scientist holding a tablet and what appeared to be a cat tracking collar. Dr. Wong was the first to realize we weren't just facing a local extinction event. His preliminary report was titled Catastrophe, a mathematical model of feline-induced ecological collapse. The Cat Appreciation Society suggested he rename it something less alarmist. He quit the next day. I pulled up Dr. Wong's data models, a complex web of interconnected species with alarming red markers. The cats weren't just hunting the hoppers anymore. They'd moved on to everything their size or smaller. Flying lizards, burrowing creatures, even the small predators that had originally kept the hopper population in check. But here's the truly fascinating part. They were adapting. We found cat colonies with distinct hunting strategies based on local prey. Some had learned to fish in the shallow seas. Others had developed coordinated hunting patterns for the larger grazing animals. The Arcturian representative's crystalline form had become almost opaque with distress. But surely your Earth cats have limitations? Size constraints? That's what we thought too. Then we discovered the catnip plants. Remember those? Turns out they weren't just making the cats high, they were affecting their growth patterns. Third-generation feral cats were 20% larger than Earth standard. We found one colony specialized in hunting what we called thunder hoppers. Imagine a kangaroo crossed with a gazelle. The cats had learned to hunt in packs. Ixthrix's mandibles clattered in alarm. Pack-hunting cats? Oh, it gets better. The cats were spreading faster than our tracking systems could monitor. They'd adapted to every climate zone we'd terraformed. Desert cats, mountain cats, swamp cats, each developing their own specialized hunting techniques. Dr. Wong's final report before he left suggested they were becoming as diverse as the big cats of Earth, all in the span of about 18 months. I displayed a series of trail camera images showing the evolutionary changes. Cats with longer legs for running in open terrain, stockier builds for mountain climbing, even some with partially webbed paws for wetland hunting. But the real problem wasn't just what the cats were hunting, it was what they weren't. Remember those aggressive plants I mentioned? Turns out they were usually eaten by a species that was now practically extinct thanks to our feline friends. Without their natural control, these plants began overrunning our carefully planned crop fields, and here's the kicker. They produced a pollen that made the catnip effect even stronger. The chamber erupted in murmurs as I showed time-lapse footage of the aggressive vegetation overtaking a field of wheat. By month 20, we had an estimated feral cat population of over 10,000, spread across 3 continents. The original Mrs. Whiskers had become something of a legend, a massive orange tabby seen leading hunting parties across the purple grasslands. The Cat Appreciation Society had finally admitted there might be a problem, right around the time their beloved pets started bringing home pieces of the larger wildlife. It's quite something to wake up and find half a creature the size of a small elephant on your doorstep. Really makes you reconsider your position on mandatory spaying and neutering. The colony administrator called an emergency session when our agricultural yields dropped 60%, I continued, displaying charts of the colony's rapidly declining food production. The aggressive plants had overwhelmed our crop fields, the native herbivores were either eaten or had fled, and our carefully balanced ecosystem had all the stability of a drunk giraffe on roller skates. Several council members shifted uncomfortably. The Zentari had stopped vibrating entirely, which I'd never seen before. We tried everything. Automated defense systems just taught the cats to avoid machinery. Sonic deterrents? They adapted in 2 weeks. We even attempted to introduce predators from Earth to control them. You know what's worse than an ecological disaster caused by cats? An ecological disaster caused by cats and wolves. Especially when the cats turned out to be better at pack hunting than the wolves. That was an expensive lesson. I pulled up the colony's final desperate measures proposal. By this point, we had cats the size of small mountain lions roaming the grasslands. The catnip plants had spread across 20% of the habitable continent. We found entire valleys filled with cats just lounging around in catnip-induced bliss between hunting parties. They'd created a perfect cycle: hunt, party in the catnip fields, sleep it off, repeat. But the native wildlife... The Arcturian's voice trembled, sending ripples through their crystalline form. Decimated. We lost 98% of small animal species within the settlement's survey range. The few survivors either went nocturnal or developed extreme burrowing behaviors. We found one species that had learned to only come out during rainstorms because the cats hated getting wet. Natural selection at its finest, if by natural you mean driven by an army of increasingly large, increasingly clever house cats. The holoscreen showed satellite imagery of the colony's desperate last-ditch effort, a massive wall around the agricultural zones. We called it the perimeter defense, not because we thought it was funny, but because by that point we'd all gone a little crazy. It worked for about 3 months. Then we discovered the cats had learned to use the drainage culverts, and they'd taught their kittens to do the same. Do you know what's worse than finding out your defense system has failed? Finding out it failed because the cats are running an educational program. X-Thrix's mandibles were clicking so fast they'd become a blur. But surely your Earth authorities... Oh, they were fascinated. Our report spawned dozens of academic papers. Rapid evolutionary adaptation in Felis catus. Social learning behaviors in feral cat colonies. The influence of xenobotanical compounds on mammalian development. The colony itself, we had to abandon the original settlement site. The cats had claimed it, literally. They'd started marking buildings as territory. Try living somewhere that constantly smells like cat spray. Even the Cat Appreciation Society finally gave up when Mrs. Whiskers III led a raid on their treat storage facility. I paused my narrative, savoring the horrified expressions around the chamber. Even the Zentari had started vibrating again, but at a frequency that suggested extreme distress. One of their crystalline translation devices actually cracked. I can see you're all wondering how this situation resolved itself, I continued, pulling up a new set of holograms. The truth is, it never really did. What we got instead was something far more interesting. Adaptation. Not just from the cats, though believe me, they've done plenty of that, but from us. Humanity's first successful terraforming project became an accidental experiment in rapid evolution and complex ecological dynamics, and wouldn't you know it, we managed to learn something from it. The first hologram showed the new colony complex, a massive structure of reinforced plasteel and energy shields, surrounded by what appeared to be a moat. Several council members leaned forward, their various sensory organs fixed on the defensive systems. Today, Outpost 47 still operates, but not as originally intended. The main settlement has been relocated to what we call the Fortress of Solitude, though officially it's listed as Enhanced Security Housing Complex Alpha. The walls are rated to withstand impacts from creatures up to the size of a small shuttle, which became necessary after we discovered the plains-dwelling cats had learned to use the local equivalent of buffalo as battering rams. I clicked to the next image, a sprawling research facility on a rocky coastal island. We maintain our primary xenobiology station here on Island Base Beta. Surrounded by water, cats hate that. Well, most cats. We had to abandon Island Base Alpha after a subspecies developed webbed paws and a taste for marine research equipment. Cost us 3 million credits in monitoring gear before we realized they were deliberately shorting out the underwater cameras to create fish-stunning electrical pulses. Clever girls. The Arcturian representative's crystalline form had developed what appeared to be stress fractures. The biological implications are staggering, I agreed. The latest survey identified 23 distinct new subspecies of cat, each adapted to their specific ecological niche. The mountain-dwelling variants have developed thick fur and larger lungs for high-altitude hunting. The desert cats are nearly twice the size of their ancestors, hunting in organized packs during the cool nights. We've even documented what appears to be a sophisticated social hierarchy among the different groups. I brought up a series of wildlife camera footage, massive cats coordinating hunts with military precision, smaller scouts reporting back to larger leaders, and most disturbingly, different subspecies engaging in what appeared to be territorial negotiations. The xenobiologists are having a field day. We've recorded behaviors never before seen in feline species. Resource sharing, territory trading, even what appears to be a crude form of agriculture. Some colonies have been observed selectively protecting certain catnip fields while destroying others, creating a sustainable supply. They're essentially running an empire complete with trade routes and diplomatic relations between different cat societies. Xthrix's mandibles clicked rapidly. But surely such rapid evolution is unprecedented, absolutely. Our leading theory involves the interaction between the native catnip-like plants and the slightly higher radiation levels from the system's binary stars. But honestly, we think they were always capable of this. They just needed the right opportunity. An entire planet of prey that never evolved to fear them, no competition, and an endless supply of mind-altering plants that somehow made them both larger and smarter. I switched to a thermal imaging map showing cat population densities across the continents. Current estimates put their numbers at just over 200,000, spread across all habitable land masses. They've essentially become the apex predators of an entire world. The original settlement zone, we call it the capital now. It's the center of what we've termed the feline hegemony. That's not just us being cute with names. We've documented at least 3 separate incidents of different cat colonies sending representatives there for what appear to be diplomatic summits. The next image showed the original settlement's town square, now overgrown with purple vegetation and serving as what appeared to be a massive cat parliament. Hundreds of various-sized felines lounged on the ruins of human architecture, clearly organized by subspecies and territory. See the raised platform in the center? That used to be our colony administrator's podium. Now it's where the largest cats meet to apparently discuss matters of interpride politics. We've started calling it the Parliament. I paused. That name wasn't my idea, but it stuck. Xenobiologists aren't known for their restraint with puns. Ambassador Xthrix leaned forward. And the original? This Mrs. Whiskers? Ah, the legend herself. I smiled, pulling up a grainy image taken from a surveillance drone. No confirmed sightings in years, but there are stories. The research teams regularly report encounters with an enormous orange tabby, far larger than any other specimen, still wearing that little bell collar. She's been spotted leading hunting parties across the grasslands, orchestrating raids on research equipment, and, most interestingly mediating disputes between different cat factions. The image showed a massive feline figure silhouetted against the binary sunset, surrounded by what appeared to be an honor guard of smaller cats. The really fascinating part? She's still knocking things off high places, but now it's usually million-credit scientific equipment from our automated monitoring stations. We've had to redesign all our ground-based sensors with cat-proof casings. Even then, they sometimes figure out the latches. Do you know how humbling it is to watch a security recording of a cat methodically disassembling your supposedly predator-proof equipment piece by piece just to knock the power core off the platform? I brought up the latest colony report.